My name is Tom Hunt. I'm a biologist, survivalist, and all-round adventurer. I've always been fascinated by the limits of human capabilities.
I don't know what's going on. This doesn't make sense.
What people can achieve when they break from convention. So I'm setting out on a mission to find incredible people who claim to possess unique abilities. Powers that push the known limits of the mind.
When you just see it happen in front of you, it's incredible.
And body. And defy the laws of conventional science. I'll get an insight into their worlds and witness their abilities firsthand.
That's as far in as your ear. That's the middle of your skull.
I'll use my own scientific knowledge and call in experts to discover what lies behind their skills.
It was so incredible to watch.
I want to find out just what it takes to become an extraordinary human. This time, my search for extraordinary humans has brought me to an extraordinary city. So I've just arrived in the city of Las Vegas, which is the gambling and entertainment capital of the world. And I'm incredibly excited because in true Las Vegas style, I'm going to be meeting some very crazy people. The first man I tracked down says he has the most powerful lungs in the world and claims to be able to generate enough air pressure to lift a 2-ton car clean off the ground. Then I headed to the desert in search of a man who appears to have turned a normal deck of playing cards into a weapon as accurate as a handgun.
I did not think that was possible.
Are you serious? I want to investigate what lies behind these abilities to find out if they truly are extraordinary humans. Since the 1940s, the surreal, fast-paced hyper-reality of Las Vegas has attracted hedonists from across the world. The obscure and the obscene are welcomed here, and there is always something to entertain. Everywhere you turn, there are people doing things that you've never seen before. Las Vegas Boulevard, or known around here as The Strip, is famous for crazy performers, both in the shows and on the street. And I'm looking for someone in particular. A man named Brian Jackson claims to have the most powerful lungs in the world, and I want to see exactly what he can do with them. Brian calls himself the Lung Man and has performed such deadly stunts that he's even broken his ribs in the pursuit of records.
I can do everything from blowing up hot water bottles till they explode, to blowing up balloons through 100-meter fire hoses, to lifting cars with just my lung strength.
Brian discovered his skill whilst working as a kids entertainer, making balloon animals with industrial-strength balloons. One day, he left his balloon pump at home, but didn't want to let the kids down.
So I started blowing them up by mouth, and I said, I'm not ever going to use a pump again.
Brian's demonstrating his human air pump skills on the Strip, so I'm off to track him down to witness his lung power for myself. Brian?
Yes.
Hey, I'm Tom.
Hey, Tom, how are you?
Great to meet you. I've seen plenty of people blowing balloons up before. Is it really that hard? Is it something I could have a go at?
Well, I can let you try.
Yeah, okay.
I'll let you pick one.
Okay.
Oh, not that one, it's really hard. No, I'm just kidding,
Okay, is there any prep before you start, or you're just so powerful you just go for it?
Here's the trick. Just put air in there.
Within just seconds, I suddenly realized that this is a lot harder than it looks. And I can feel the pressure building in my head.
After a couple seconds, you'll want to...
Oh, it makes your head go funny.
It'll ruin your day if you let it, yeah.
So would people normally use a pump for these?
Most people use a pump to air them up, you're right. It's harder than it looks.
The pressure required to inflate a balloon is inversely proportional to its diameter. The narrower the balloon, the tougher it is. These tiny tubular balloons are extremely hard to blow up and are designed to only be inflated using a mechanical pump. So you've got a few different specialities.
Yeah, pick me out 3 of these.
Right, let's go 3 different colors.
Okay.
What are you going to do with these?
I'm gonna try to blow all these up at the same time.
In one go? I couldn't manage 1 balloon, but Brian reckons he can do 3 at a time.
Just like that.
That must have taken a huge amount of air pressure.
Just like that.
That is very impressive.
Thank you.
Brian made that look so easy and was barely out of breath afterwards. But he's not going to stop there. Brian says his lungs can inflate 9 of these balloons at once.
Grab me 9.
The amount of air pressure needed to do that is equivalent to blowing up a bicycle tire.
7,
This should not be possible.
8, 9.
Okay.
Seriously?
I'll give it a try.
I seriously doubt that he can fully inflate all 9 balloons. But even if he gets any air in any of them, I'll be impressed. He takes his time to individually line up each balloon in his mouth. He needs to make sure that he gets a clean grip around every one. I cannot believe he's actually doing this.
1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, that is amazing.
I'm already impressed by Brian's super strong lungs. He's produced air pressures that should not be humanly possible. But Brian made his name with another, even more dangerous display of lung strength. I've seen photos of Brian inflating and exploding what looks like a genuine hot water bottle. But hot water bottles are specifically designed not to explode. They contain extremely hot liquids, so it's vital that the seals are highly stable and the rubber is thick enough to prevent burns. They've been tested to take up to 500 psi of pressure. Could Brian's lungs really be capable of producing enough force to burst tough reinforced rubber? Brian takes out a brand new sealed hot water bottle, so I know this is no trick. And he prepares his safety equipment.
So these are safety goggles because it's going to explode, right?
I'm going to blow it up till it explodes.
And lastly, Brian gets his back brace on, a special belt to give his body support.
This is going to give me a little bit more support.
What, because there's so much, you're creating so much pressure?
Yes.
Right, okay. Super tough. These things are designed not to burst.
Right, it's very thick rubber, and it should expand but not explode.
Wow, okay. This is going to be like the most epic balloon I've ever seen. Right, what do you need to do then? We give you a bit of space?
I'll need about 3 or 4 feet so it doesn't hit anybody else.
Okay, cool. Well, you take that. I'm going to move out the way slightly.
Everyone is genuinely on edge as Brian prepares. I've seen some crazy stuff in my time, but what Brian is about to attempt seems impossible.
Come on.
Straight away, I notice his technique. His whole body rocks back and forward. He's really putting everything into this. He's only a few breaths in, but now I'm starting to worry. His breathing sounds really heavy. I'm worried he may be pushing his body too far and could pass out, or cause his lungs some serious damage. But he's definitely caught the attention of the Vegas crowds.
Come on. Super lungs.
The force of the explosion was huge. I can only imagine the pressure that took to burst.
Wow. I thought you were going to pass out at one point. That is a lot of breath.
That's a lot of bad breath in there.
How are you feeling?
I feel good. I feel good, a little winded, but that's a good workout.
Like, do you feel lightheaded?
No, I train. I'm more winded than lightheaded. But you have to understand, it's not just blowing this up. I have to hold that to my mouth so tight that no air leaks.
Yeah.
So my neck, my back, my shoulders, my arms, even my hands, all the way down to my legs, I'm pushing into something that's not meant to push into.
So that's a full body workout.
Full body workout.
Oh my Lord. I could barely do one skinny balloon, and this guy just smashed a water bottle.
That was amazing. I honestly did not think it was humanly possible. But Brian has proved to me that he does indeed have super lungs. But it's time to dig deeper to find out more about him and what his secret is. Brian Jackson has been training his iron lungs for over 23 years. After first taking inspiration from a previous world record holder.
I was actually at home watching TV, and we saw a guy that held the world record for blowing up a hot water bottle, and so I started trying to break that world record. It took me 7 years, 49 record attempts to break my first world record.
Brian now holds the world record for the fastest hot water bottle burst and the most hot water bottles blown up in 1 minute.
The record at the time when I saw him break the world record was 52.68 seconds. 7 years later, I did it in 51.98 seconds. And now I hold the record. I get done 5 hot water bottles in under a minute.
But his achievements have come with a cost. Taking on these stunts does have genuine danger involved. During his first world record, things went seriously wrong. Brian was struggling to keep the expanding hot water bottle in position, so he used the table to steady himself. But when the bottle exploded, it then pushed back towards his body with such force, it knocked him unconscious. Brian suffered a dislocated jaw and broken ribs. This demonstrates just how dangerous his stunts can be. But Brian has continued to perfect his natural-born ability, and in his lifetime, he's blown up a staggering 6,000 hot water bottles. I'm intrigued by Brian's unique lung power, but I want to try and find a scientific explanation. I found a medical imaging center here in Las Vegas. And Brian has agreed to have some scans so we can find out if there are any anatomical differences that allow him to perform such extraordinary stunts.
Right, Brian, I'm really quite fascinated in the biology that allows you to be so extraordinary with this lung power. Have you ever had any tests before?
No, and I'm very interested to see what they find out.
Okay, because we should be able to test, hopefully, around the throat, the lung, the thoracic area, and maybe we'll get some answers into why you're the world's most powerful lung man.
Sounds good.
Cool.
First up, lung specialist Dr. Chemplerville needs to see Brian's ability to believe it.
Go on, Brian.
Dr. Chemplerville is eager to find out more.
What do you feel when you're actually doing it?
A lot of pressure, almost like getting dry heaves when you're sick. Very much like that, your body's pushing into something that's not meant to blow up. So I feel it, muscles all over my body trying to push out.
Where do you feel it? Do you feel it in the lungs or in the chest, or because you've said in your neck and your throat before?
Yeah, the neck from pushing back, my arms to hold it, my chest area pushing out, and my legs holding me. So I feel it everywhere.
Amazed by Brian's power, Dr. Chemplerville refers him for a pulmonary function test. If Brian has an abnormally large lung capacity, it could explain how he's able to produce such huge forces when he exhales.
And blow out fast. Keep blowing, keep blowing, keep blowing, keep blowing, keep blowing, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Big deep breath in.
But surprisingly, Brian's pulmonary function gives an average score of 89. So next, Dr. Chemplerville decides to call in the CT scanner.
Hold your breath.
The scan will create an image of the inside of Brian's chest, giving us a really clear picture of the bones, muscles, and other tissues. When exhaling forcefully, the abdominal muscles and the intercostal muscles between the ribs generate pressure, which forces air out of the lungs. I wonder if Brian has somehow developed additional muscles, giving his lungs more power.
Doctor, so we got the results of the CT scan.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Okay, this is the upper part of the lung, those black holes.
Okay, so we're coming down, we're about here at this point?
Yes. And then you can see the heart.
Okay, so these black bits here are the air-filled space, that's the lungs?
Yes, that's the lungs. The lungs look completely normal here.
Good, so the ribs, the muscle, the lungs looking normal so far?
Yes.
Okay.
As we move through the scan, anatomically, Brian does not appear to have any difference that would allow him to generate such power from his lungs.
Right in your mouth for me.
And we already know that his actual lung capacity is within a normal range. So the doctor thinks that the only answer must lie deep within the microstructure of Brian's lung tissue itself.
There is elasticity of the lung and elastin fibers in the lung that gives it elasticity that it can, stretch and relax.
Almost every tissue in the human body contains some elastin fibers, but the lungs contain the most. This is what allows them to expand and contract.
I suspect that he has more than normal amount of elasticity in his lung.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would rupture.
The doctor believes the training that Brian has done over the last 23 years must have built up the elasticity of his lungs and allowed him to perform his extraordinary stunts. Now you're making me. He's proven his ability to produce incredibly high air pressure with just the power of his own lungs. But now, I want to find out a way to test his limits. Brian's told me that he can generate enough pressure to lift a car off the ground. So we've tracked down a workshop with some seriously heavy vehicles. I want to test for myself the force he can produce. Hey, Randy.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, sir. We just happen to have this car and think it might work for what you want it to do.
Okay, perfect, because this guy seems to think that he can make a car levitate using his lungs.
Really? Well, this is good American steel, so I'm dying to see how this is going to work.
What Brian is planning to do sounds crazy. He claims he can exhale into a vehicle lifting bag placed underneath a car and lift it clear off the ground. I don't think any normal human would even attempt such a feat.
So that's a standard lifting bag, but have you modified it in any way?
Well, it comes with a check valve, which would stop the airflow once I blow into it. When I stop, the check valve would stop any air from leaking out.
Okay.
But it's so hard for me once we get a lot of weight on the bag to open that check valve up. I've actually taken the check valve out.
Ah,
So I have to hold all the weight, all the pressure right at my throat.
but that means your throat has become the check valve.
Right, exactly.
That is a serious amount of pressure, though.
A lot of pressure, yeah. I'm looking at a very big car here.
What Brian has just told me has given me serious concerns. there is nothing to stop all of that air rushing back into his lungs. This could be deadly.
I'm struggling pumping this jack, so I can imagine Brian's lungs.
First up, I want to know exactly how much this car weighs. Randy gets to work lifting the car with a jack to get the scales into position. By measuring the weight under each wheel, we can work out exactly the force that Brian will need to produce. Once the scales are in position, Randy lowers the car down. Over 900 pounds on each of the back wheels. So the total weight of the car would be what, 4,000 pounds?
Very easily 4,000 pounds.
The car is weighing in at 1,800 kilos. That's almost double the weight of the biggest car he's ever lifted. That's a pretty big difference.
Big difference, huge, yeah.
Like, I'm feeling quite nervous. How are you feeling?
A little nervous, but I'm ready to try this. I'm anxious to see what we can do.
Okay, great. Well, let's get it jacked up. Let's get the scales out the way, and then let's get this challenge on the road.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm beginning to think we may have set the bar too high, but we'll see what Brian can do. I've called in a paramedic to be on site, as I have serious concerns about the lack of the check valve in Brian's airbag. He's modified the lifting bag so there's no return valve. So all the pressure that's going in is directly equal to coming back out again. And I want to know the medical implications of what might happen.
Well, the worst case on that is if he had a sudden surge of back pressure, it could be sufficient to actually cause the lungs to pop like balloons.
Keith has just confirmed my concerns. If for even 1 second Brian was to give in to the pressure on his throat, the full contents of the lifting bag could be heavily forced back into his chest by the 2 metric ton weight of the car. His lungs could literally explode inside him.
The normal human lung tissue is very frail, and it's actually down to one cellular layer that allows oxygen molecules and carbon dioxide molecules to cross that cellular barrier. It's very fragile.
Despite being one of the most complicated and vital organs in the body, the lungs are extremely delicate. They're designed to fill with air as we breathe, but the maximum capacity of a human lung is 6 litres. The lift bag that Brian is using has a volume of 1,200 litres. We need to pay really close attention to how Brian is coping throughout this challenge. At the first sign of struggle, it's crucial that he removes the hose without allowing the air to rush back into his throat. Right, Brian, how you feeling?
I'm ready to rock.
You sure?
I'm ready, let's do this.
Okay, this is Keith. He's a medical professional, so he's going to be
Good to meet you, Ryan.
Nice to meet
keeping
you.
a close eye on you. Best of luck, dude. Seriously, best of luck. Start when you're ready. Brian is getting into the zone. Within just moments, I can hear the airbag inflating and pushing up against the underneath of the car. But it's going to take a lot more air pressure to lift 2 metric tons. I'm right by the wheel, so I can see when it clears the ground. Doing good, man. You're lifting her up. Compared to the hot water bottle, Brian is playing the long game with this one. His body movements are smaller. This is going to take a lot more than 60 breaths. His breathing is starting to sound really heavy. Keep going, she's nearly there. But the car is so close now. We're successful. Unbelievably, he's done it. Woo! Yeah! Woo! Woo! Yes!
How you feeling?
Oh my gosh, I feel good. Woo! Oh man.
You all right?
Yeah.
Lightheaded?
I'm very lightheaded, tingling. Yeah, I feel good.
That has to be one of the most intense stunts I've ever witnessed. Brian somehow managed to expel enough air to lift an 1,800 kilo car off the ground and resist the force of it pushing back down on the airbag. We're successful. If I hadn't just witnessed that, I still don't think I would believe it. There's no denying that Brian Jackson is absolutely extraordinary.
Man, that's exciting.
Next up, I'm going to search out another guy who has an unlikely talent.
In the context of a casino, I think most people would understand a killer hand is a winning set of cards. But to Rick Smith Jr., the term killer hand has a whole different meaning.
The guy I'm about to meet claims to have a unique ability to take a normal deck of cards and turn them into a weapon.
My name is Rick Smith Jr., and I am a Guinness World Record card thrower. I started performing magic when I was 7 years old. My father showed me a card trick, my uncle showed me a little coin trick, and I fell in love with it. So I started practicing, reading books, watching videos, and I just progressed.
Rick claims he can throw a simple playing card a staggering 70 meters at speeds of over 90 miles an hour. I don't see how that can be possible, but if it's genuine, it will be truly extraordinary. I'm meeting Rick at a shooting range in the Nevada desert where he is practicing his accuracy.
Hey, Rick. Hey, man, what's up?
Great to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. Thanks for coming out to the shooting range.
So a card is not a normal kind of throwing device. How did this all start for you?
Well, I was a college baseball pitcher, and I threw a baseball 90 miles an hour, and I was also a magician. So I put the two together, and that's where I learned how to throw a playing card so fast and hard.
Wow. Take me through the technique. How do you turn a baseball throw into a card throw?
Well, I actually take the playing card and I throw it like a curveball. So what I'm doing is I'm bringing the card down and flinging my wrist at the very last second.
So it totally comes from your baseball background?
It is all baseball background.
In the world of competitive baseball, a 90-mile-an-hour pitch is seen as pro level. Athletes train hard to perfect their technique to achieve this kind of speed. Power from the whole body, the angle of release, and most importantly, the spin, are key ingredients to a fast pitch. But a baseball weighs 145 grams and is a perfect sphere. What I really want to learn is how Rick can achieve that same power and speed with a paper-thin, flat object. I'm super stoked to get started. Tell me what you're gonna do.
I'm gonna try to hit the bullseye on that yellow target.
You think you can hit that from here?
Absolutely.
Seriously?
Seriously.
That's quite a distance.
It's 15 yards.
Oh, all right, I'd like to see this.
Let's
Go for it. Not only will this be a test of his accuracy, this is a huge distance he's taking on. It would be a tough shot with a handgun, let alone a flimsy card.
Ready?
Uh-huh. It's good, but not good enough. Oh! That is very cool. Rick's next two cards have sliced straight into the target, but he's determined to hit the bullseye. Oh! I did not think that was possible. Well, that has just blown me away. Oh! A playing card weighs just 1.8 grams and is hardly designed to be aerodynamic. He makes it look so easy. I want to try it for myself. So where would I start? A typical baseball pitch, but then what am I looking to do? There's a flick.
You're gonna flick it as fast as you possibly can with your fingers.
Okay.
So you're gonna hold it between your two fingers,
Yeah.
You're gonna snap as hard as you can to see how many revolutions you can get in 1 second.
So it's all about the spin.
You want to keep that card spinning. As
Okay,
long as the card's
so-
spinning, it's gonna keep traveling.
Okay, and a throw and a flick at the same time.
Absolutely.
Right.
You could do this.
Oh.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Okay, let me have another go.
7
another
feet.
one.
That's okay. You can beat that.
Right. And there's a flick of the wrist.
It is a flick of the wrist.
Okay.
You got this. No, you don't got this. It's okay.
I have no idea how Rick can achieve so much speed and accuracy with a card. And his unique talent has earned him global status. You're pretty world famous for this as well.
Well, I hold a few Guinness World Records. The farthest is 72 yards, the most accurate, and I'm working right now on throwing the Guinness World Record for the highest throw of a playing card.
Wow. Rick has set records with his card throwing skills, but I want to see if he can use them to compete against a real weapon.
I feel a competition coming on, and given the fact that we're at a shooting range, I want to go a gun against you,
A
5
gun.
shots.
And what are we aiming for?
How about the heads of these targets?
Let's do it.
To make this harder for Rick, we're going to increase the distance. He's proved himself at 15 meters already. Now, we're shooting from the 20-meter line. I've got a 45mm handgun, an ideal weapon for close-range accuracy. I've used a lot of different guns in my time, and at this distance, I feel pretty confident about my chances of beating him.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Shooters ready? 3, 2, 1.
My first shot is dead on. But my second is a few inches off. Meanwhile, Rick is firing his cards hard into the target.
Right, let's have a closer look.
Let's check it out.
I got 2 right in the middle of the head, a 7 and an 8, and I actually missed with one as well.
I got a 7, I got the neck, and look, 3 in the exact same spot.
They're on top of each other. 1, 2, 3. Wow.
Hey,
That is very cool.
that is awesome.
You actually won.
It took Rick 2 attempts to find his target, but then he blew me away by getting 3 cards in the exact same spot. I thought I had good aim, but Rick has just totally put me in my place. And he made it look so easy. Rick has proven he does indeed have a genuine talent when it comes to card throwing. He's demonstrated his accuracy, but now I'm keen to see him take on some longer distances. So, Rick has invited me to his old stomping ground, Fremont Street in downtown Vegas. For Rick, it's where he still comes to push his own limits. This time, he's going to attempt to break his own world record for the highest card throw.
This is the absolute best place to try to throw a playing card and show the height. Here, why don't you try?
Right. Same technique?
Same
all
technique.
in the wrist?
High as you can get it.
Right.
You're gonna take it, you're gonna flip it with your wrist to throw it as high as you possibly can. You can do this. I guarantee it.
Right.
Getting any height with a playing card seems impossible, but I'm stepping up to the challenge.
It's not that bad. You make it look so easy.
I managed just a couple of meters. Now it's Rick's turn.
To throw a playing card really far distance, I actually have to use my whole body. I'm using my legs, my hips, my arm. Same way I would throw a baseball. If I was a baseball pitcher, I would actually use my whole body to get the momentum to throw the card so far.
How high exactly do you think you're gonna get?
Height is the toughest challenge for Rick. Even though he can throw over 60 meters horizontally, his current highest throw is only 17 meters. But that's still over the blue star.
Let's see.
Ready? Go on, yeah. It's impressive, but not yet record-breaking.
Try one more, one more.
Above the blue star is about 20 meters. How far can he push it?
What do you think the maximum is?
I bet you I can get to that green star. If I'd hit the green star right now, that'd actually be a new Guinness World Record.
There's no way you're gonna hit that.
You want me to try?
I'd love you to try, but I don't think you can do it.
This is gonna be very difficult.
This is crazy. The green star is almost 30 meters high. Rick is claiming that he can almost double his record right in front of my eyes. Surely he's aiming too high.
All right, you ready? Here we go. That was close, that was close. One more thing. Ready?
That was pretty high.
Try one more, one more. Ready? That was it. That was it.
That is incredible.
Somehow, Rick was able to generate enough power from his whole body to launch the card high into the air, literally defying gravity. If it wasn't for the way they gently flutter back to the ground, I'd be sure he was using fake cards. But Rick says his card throws are no trick, and the speed he generates with each throw turns a simple playing card into a dangerous weapon. He tells me he can slice through vegetables and even smash glass with his cards. I want to see this for real.
All right.
You're not gonna hit me, right?
Not on purpose.
Okay.
Are you
I'm
nervous?
a little bit nervous now, but
Watch, watch. Watch it. It's pretty crazy, right?
that's pretty cool.
I can actually hear the cards slicing into the thick rind of the watermelon.
Oh, that could have been your hand. Oh, that one hit the card.
Oh,
It's pretty crazy.
that is very, very cool, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
A regular kitchen knife would struggle cutting through a watermelon, but Rick has just fired a standard playing card deep into the rind.
Don't move, don't move.
It seems it's not just me that's intrigued by Rick's extraordinary ability. He catches the attention of a bystander who sets him a challenge.
Put one on that building, man.
What?
Can you put it on that building?
Seriously?
Put it on that building, man. What the?
I've seen Rick throw with amazing accuracy, making a bullseye from over 18 meters.
I did not think that was possible.
I've witnessed him launching a card record-breaking heights into the air.
That was it.
And now he's just shown me the damage he can inflict. I have to get to the bottom of how he's able to achieve these remarkable feats.
Seeing Rick perform his tricks, I've been genuinely impressed, and he makes it look so easy. I've had a go, and it's actually very difficult. So I've enlisted the help of a biomechanics expert with some of the latest high-speed camera technology to really try and reveal what makes him so good.
I've called in Dr. David DeLion,
Hey, Dave.
an expert in motion capture technology and human performance. Dave specializes in baseball pitching techniques and has developed a high-speed camera rig to break down the specific motion step by step. I've asked Dave to set up his cameras at the shooting range. With his expertise, I must be able to uncover what makes Rick so extraordinary.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take the high-speed cameras. Our cameras capture at 200 pictures per second, 200 frames per second.
Yeah.
And what we're going to be measuring is how long it takes the card to travel between a set distance. So we've measured this out to be 1 meter.
Yeah.
And we're going to measure how much time it takes for the card to travel that 1 meter. That'll give us our velocity. The other thing we're going to look at is the spin. We're going to see how many times the card rotates in a short period of time.
Great.
What do you say? Should we try it?
I want to get started, yeah.
Let's do it.
With Dave's controlled setup, I'll finally start getting some answers about how fast the cards are traveling through the air. But he's going one step further. A strip of reflective tape is attached to the cards so that we can measure the spin. Spotlights have been specifically positioned to shine on the card, so the tape will allow us to count exactly how many full rotations the card makes in the 1 meter test area. I'm up first. I have to concentrate just on this 1 meter test zone. I'm aiming for my maximum speed. Right, you ready?
Are you ready?
I'm ready. We both get 3 attempts, and Dave will pick our best.
1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, go.
Good.
Hey, that was pretty good.
That's better. Right.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to advance this frame by frame, and each frame is 5 thousandths of a second. So you can see your arms moving forward there, and you're about to let go of the card. There's the wrist flick.
Oh, it wobbles straight away.
So that you were 11.1 meters per second, which is about 25 miles per hour.
Okay. 25 miles an hour to beat. Go for it.
All right, let's do it.
Well, I'm impressed with my 25 miles an hour. I didn't think it would be that fast. Now it's Rick's turn to step up to the mark. Rick's record speed was 90 miles an hour. Right, you ready? But we're outside, up in the hills, and the wind has really picked up today.
All right, 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, go.
Again, Dave gives Rick 3 goes to get his best shot.
1, 2, 3, go.
I can already see how his style differs to mine. He pitches as if he were throwing a baseball. Time for the results.
Well, you threw 16 frames between the cones.
Yeah.
Rick did 6 frames.
6.
6 frames, which is about 33 meters per second, and that turns out to be about 75 miles per hour.
So wow. I did 25 miles an hour and he did 75 miles an hour.
That's right.
That's incredible. Rick threw his card 3 times as fast as mine, which would obviously explain how he can throw such long and high distances. But what about the effect of spin? I'm eager to know the difference in the number of rotations we both managed.
We've done the math, and your final revolutions per second was 25. The card traveled 25 times around per second for you.
So a complete spin, 25 times.
That's right.
In 1 second.
That's right.
That sounds a lot.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, go.
Thanks to Rick's tuition, I managed 25 full rotations in a second.
16 frames.
But if he can triple my speed, I'm sure his rotations are also way above mine.
Rick, on the other hand, he did 59 revolutions per second.
Ah, okay. So you're 3 times as quick and more than twice as many revolutions.
That's right.
And in your opinion, is that why it goes so much further?
Absolutely. I think the combination of higher initial velocity and more revolutions per second makes a huge difference in how far a card will travel.
Dave says Rick's cards act like small propellers, finding their way through the air with the least amount of turbulence.
As the card spins, it creates angular momentum, and it goes about an axis of rotation that's perpendicular to the card, which allows it to get through the air with the least amount of turbulence. As the spin slows down, the axis of rotation starts to wobble, which lets the card wobble, and once that happens, it falls right out of the sky.
Air can and that's when we see it just flutter down.
That's right.
It's great to understand the physics behind Rick's skill, But to me, the main question was how can he throw such a light object such a long distance? Rick explained to me that the secret was in the spin, but actually seeing that for real, frame by frame, and getting those figures has proven that to me.
So if you want to get good at being able to flick a card 70 yards, it's all about speed and revolutions.
Absolutely. If you could increase your revolutions per second, the card should fly even farther.
Wow, good. I'm stoked that we actually got some answers.
But I've not exhausted this guy's abilities just yet. I've got a challenge for him that I think will really push him to the max. It requires a combination of distance and accuracy, and is something no one has ever attempted before. This basketball court is 29 meters in length. I want Rick to try and get a card into the basket. Can he really make this target? Just 18 inches in diameter.
How many tries do you think it will be?
Between 2 and 5.
Really?
Absolutely, it's controlled. This is perfect.
If you pull this off, I'm gonna be amazed.
Let's do it.
It looks impossible, but Rick seems quietly confident.
Are you ready?
1, 2, 3, go.
Oh, close.
1, 2, 3, go.
Oh, you hit the board.
That was close.
That was very close. If you pull this off, this is gonna be trick of the century.
Using a unique natural ability, Rick has just taken speed, power, and accuracy to the very limit of what's possible, and amazed both me and the professor.
That was so good. I did not think you were gonna pull that off. I didn't even think you could get it that far, let alone get it in a hoop that's like a foot and a bit across. The power, the speed, the accuracy combined, that was just absolutely amazing. That has completely topped it off for me.
I've witnessed two extraordinary humans, each with incredible abilities. We're successful! Who have found jaw-dropping ways of demonstrating their powers. Join me next time when my search for extraordinary humans continues.